Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Meredith Phillips. I'm a writer, reader, and bunny mama, and today I'm going on an artist's date. I'm really excited to get to do this today, but before I get into the actual date that I'm going on, let me explain to you what an artist's date is if you're unaware. In Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, she talks a lot about how to be an artist and explore your creativity. And of course, I think that one of the big things to come out of that book was the idea of morning pages. I did a video quite a while ago about morning pages. I'll link that below if you like. It's basically journaling every morning as soon as you get up. And she has a whole philosophy behind why she thinks that's a good idea for you. But the other aspect of that book that oftentimes is overlooked is the artist date idea. And in the book, she describes an artist date as this. Artist dates are assigned play. The artist date is a once-weekly, festive, solo expedition to explore something that interests you. The artist date need not be overtly artistic. Think mischief more than mastery. Artist dates fire up the imagination. They spark whimsy. They encourage play. Since art is about the play of ideas, they feed our creative work by replenishing our inner well of images and inspiration. When choosing an artist date, it is good to ask yourself, what sounds fun? And then allow yourself to try it. So I've been thinking about this idea of going on an artist date, but I didn't know what sounded fun to me. It's very hot outside. Texas, and I didn't really want to be traipsing around outdoors anywhere. There are some museums and some galleries and things like that in the area, which I did look at. I didn't feel drawn to anything in particular at this time. And then I got an email. I got an email from Fathom Events, and this is a group that puts on different art performances and viewings at various theaters across the country. And one of the things that I always love checking out is the Turner Classic Movies sponsored movie that they show. There's usually one that's featured each month, and this month they are showing Citizen Kane. I've seen this movie a couple times previously, but the last time I saw it was probably about 20 years ago. So I have been wanting to rewatch this movie for a couple years now. And there's been times where it's been shown in theaters near me, and I just, for whatever reason, there was always like a reason I couldn't go. So it is showing, and I'm gonna go see it today. You've probably heard of this movie, but if you haven't, it is oftentimes cited as the best movie ever made, or at least one of the very best movies ever made. And there's a lot of reasons why that's said about it. And I'm excited to go and see what my opinion is. I remember when I watched it years and years ago now, I loved it, and I thought I appreciated different elements of it, but of course I'm older now, so I'm excited to see, if my opinion has changed or if I notice new things about it that I didn't notice previously. One of the big landmark things that was done in this film was the cinematography. The cinematography is absolutely groundbreaking in a huge number of ways. It's not like he did one different thing. He did a dozen different things. So I'm really excited to see that again. Cinematography is one of my favorite things. It's something that if it's done really well, I appreciate it in a film. So I'm looking forward to seeing these groundbreaking things again, because I don't remember everything. There's certain shots that I remember, but I really don't remember a whole lot of the in-between stuff. I did a video a few weeks back about being in a creative rut, and so this is one of the things I'm trying to do to refill my creative well and do something a little out of the ordinary for me. I will link below to the Fathom Events website. I would highly suggest checking them out. If you're able to go to any of the movies that they're showing, I would highly recommend it. In my opinion, going to a movie theater to see a movie is a vastly different experience than watching it at home. I think some movies you can watch at home and it's totally fine, and you can still appreciate it and enjoy it, and it's not a big deal. But there are certain movies that you really need to see on a big screen. And I'm not talking your big screen TV. I'm talking a giant movie screen. And I don't know if any of you are millionaires and have a movie theater inside your house. I don't. Go to the movies to see big movies. To me, watching a movie at home, a big movie at home on a TV, is kind of like watching a rock concert at home. It's still fun, and you can still enjoy the music, and you can still get into the groove and the rhythm of it, but it's a little different when you're at a concert and your innards are vibrating because the music is so loud and awesome. So I feel like movies are the same way. If you watch Lord of the Rings at home, it's amazing. You're probably gonna love it if you're a decent human being, but if you can see it in a theater, it's a different, more all-encompassing, all-enveloping experience. So anyway, go see a movie in a theater that you haven't seen before. I'll link below. They have a ton of different stuff they also do besides movies. They have opera and ballet performances you can go see, which I also enjoy those. If you've ever wanted to try out going to an opera or a ballet, but you're kind of intimidated by going to see like a live event, go to one of these showings. They show operas put on by the Met. This is like the cream of the crop performers, and you can see it in a movie theater for like 15 bucks. You're not going to be able to see it at the Met for 15 bucks, I guarantee you. So check them out. They also they have a Studio Ghibli Fest that they're doing in October. And again, this is nationwide for America. So if you're pretty much anywhere in the States, you can find a theater near you that is going to be showing this stuff. So I know a lot of people love Studio Ghibli, so go check out what they're showing. Go check it out. It's awesome. They also show like documentaries and all kinds of stuff. So again, link below to Fathom Events. Check out their schedule for the next couple months and see if anything stands out to you. So, having said all that, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to go to the movies. Okay, I'm the only one in here right now. I still feel weird talking. Well, there's no one in here. Hold on, let me get the mic out. This is the fanciest theater I've ever been in. It's a freaking recliner chair. I've never been in a theater like this. This is wild. But it's awesome. I'm really excited to get to see this. I haven't been in a movie theater for 2 years. The last time we went to anything was September 2019 to go see Lawrence of Arabia for the same group. Fathom Events did Lawrence 2 years ago. So that's the last thing I saw. I'm here super early. It's barely 2 o'clock and the movie doesn't start until 3. But let me be honest, I wanted to get in so I could get like some shots and chat for a second, because I am not going to do this once anyone else gets here. Part of the artist date thing is you're supposed to go solo. It's supposed to be just you, and I'm gonna put this away in a second and just sort of be in the theater and let the experience happen. I don't know, that might sound cheesy, but I like getting into a good mindset to watch a movie like this, that's maybe a little more intense and deeper than just your standard blockbuster film. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this away and we'll chat afterwards and I'll let you know what I thought. It's so good. And you come out of a movie and you're like, what year is it? Like, you're so enveloped in the movie and you just have no concept of time outside of it. Oh my gosh, this so good on so many levels. The cinematography, guys, I know we write books and stuff, but oh my gosh, there were parts in it where I wanted to like pause the movie and run it back because I was like, holy crap, like, how do you get that shot? So good. The other thing that really stood out to me this time watching it was the way the story was told. I kind of vaguely remembered how it was formatted, but just like the way they hop back and forth in time, it's not just flashbacks. There's like flashbacks and time jumps within the flashbacks.
It's so good. And the way they transition from like one time period to the next, super, super creative and really cool transitions. Like just the costumes and makeup. Like Orson Welles was 24 when he made this film. And all of the other actors in it, well, I don't know all of them, but a lot of the rest of the actors, Joseph Cotton's in it, he's amazing. They're all young and they play a huge range of ages. So like Orson Welles' character, you meet him when he's like 24 or 25 in the movie, and he plays all the way up until his character's like an older man. And the way they did the makeup, and I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it back then. It was really well done. You would have no idea that he wasn't like a 65-year-old man or something looking at him in the later parts of the film. So it's just like, oh my gosh, I need to drive home. So let me do that, and then I'll come back with a few final thoughts.
Okay, ignore any mess you can see behind me. I'm just like, it's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the storytelling was so interesting. It reminded me a lot of Victoria Schwab's Vicious and Vengeful. If you've read those, she time hops all over the place and still somehow manages to like piece this story together so that it's understandable. And it felt very similar to that, where you're going back and forth in time and picking up different pieces of this person's life and trying to puzzle him together to figure out like who was he and what did he really want in life. I love that. It's such a difficult thing, I would imagine, such a difficult thing to do well and still have all of it make sense. And it just, it was executed perfectly. The cinematography, oh my god. The shots that he got, like how do you set some of that up? How do you set that up? How do you set that up? The other thing that was amazing were so many of the takes were these incredibly long takes, like minutes long. And they weren't just straight shot, talk to the camera kind of things. Like there's all kinds of stuff going on in these shots. And I'm just like, how did you do that? You must have had to do like 25,000 takes. It was so good. So my artist date went really well, in case you couldn't tell. I very much enjoyed it. Honestly, this has given me inspiration for two different things. Number one, with that storytelling, I don't think I'm capable of writing a whole book in that sort of framework or with that framework. I think it could be really interesting to incorporate some of that aspect of flashback or story within a story kind of thing. I don't even know how to explain it. Probably need to think about it, but it is something that you could incorporate into a story. You know, you can play with timelines a little bit. So that has given me a little bit. I don't have any kind of specific ideas at the moment, but it's in my head now. It's in the creative well to be used at some future point. And the other thing that, man, it just blew me away is all these different camera angles and what the different angles seemed to suggest about the characters. Now, obviously, when I film videos, I'm not making up a story. I'm not, trying to, reveal some hidden part of my character to you. But, there's just playful angles and different things you can do with the camera instead of just these kind of straight on shots. And I really love playing with that kind of thing, but I don't think it's something that I'm necessarily good at. The other thing too is obviously this is easy. I just set the camera on a tripod and start talking. Whereas if you do these other kinds of creative angles, I think it's much more interesting visually for viewers to watch, but you do have to set it up and be a little more purposeful, I guess, with how you're shooting the video. So just lots of different things to think about. I'm really excited. Also, Bernard Herrmann did the music. I don't know if I knew that before and forgot. It's really good. It's really good. Also, at the beginning, they have the RKO pictures, like Morse code thing that they do. And I was like tearing up. Why do I tear up when the production company comes on? I'm like an idiot. I do full on cry when Columbia Studios logo comes up at the beginning of Lawrence of Arabia because, hello, I'm I'm really weird like that. And then I did tear up at the end with the sort of rosebud half reveal. I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it, but it's kind of an iconic closing image, I guess. And that's another thing. I was like, how did they do that? That final image of Rosebud and how like, I don't want to spoil it. I want to know how they did that ending shot though. I wanted to know how they do all the shots. I'm going to have to process that because there's just a lot like in my brain right now. So anyway, highly recommend artist dates. They're great. Go to something that interests you, try something new, see what you can come away with that might inspire or motivate you to try something new in your writing or in other creative pursuits you have. This was a lot of fun. So I'll see if I can do this again. In Julia Cameron's book, she suggests doing this once a week, which I don't think I can do once a week. That's kind of a lot, but every now and then I think this could certainly be very valuable. So keep that in the back of your mind too if you are feeling at a loss creatively. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more from me, click the subscribe button. I post videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. You can find me over on Instagram at Meredith Phillips Writes, and you can head over to my website, meredithphillips.com, to sign up for my newsletter. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.